Jeff Hardy at one point was the biggest superstar in wrestling, but the only thing that stopped Jeff Hardy from being even bigger was Jeff Hardy himself. This is the story of one of wrestling's biggest what-ifs. This is Jeff Hardy's tragic downward spiral. It all started years ago with a trampoline in North Carolina. With those words echoing through the air, Jeff Hardy accepted the Slammy Award for the most extreme moment in 2008, and honestly, he couldn't have put it better. Jeffrey Nero Hardy was born in 1977 to hard-working tobacco farmer Claude Gilbert and sports-loving Ruby Moore Hardy. Their lives took a tragic turn in 1986 when their mother succumbed to a devastating brain tumor after a year-long battle. The loss deeply affected the brothers, and their father, Gilbert, started taking a more strict approach to parenting as the sole caregiver. But the brothers understood that he was doing his best and leaned on each other for support. On Christmas Day in 1988, the Hardys received a trampoline, a fairly normal present, but that one simple gift changed Jeff's life forever. In 1994, Jeff Hardy made his WWE debut at the age of 16. 4 years later, he and his brother Matt formed the Hardy Boyz, one of the most popular tag teams in WWE history. Their high-flying and daring style captivated audiences, and their rivalries with teams like the Dudley Boyz and Edge and Christian produced legendary matches, including the iconic tables, ladders, and chairs matches. But as the years went by, it became clear that Jeff possessed an undeniable star quality. He embodied the spirit of the late 90s and early 2000s with his unique fashion sense, distinctive hairstyle, and of course, his daring and death-defying antics. In 2001, he achieved a monumental victory by defeating Triple H and capturing the Intercontinental Championship. The following year, he delivered another standout singles performance against The Undertaker of all people, pushing the dead man to his limits in a match for the WWE Undisputed title in a ladder match. It was evident to both the audience and the backstage insiders that Jeff was ready to make his mark as a singles competitor and move past the tag team division. However, success didn't come without its fair share of obstacles. The demanding schedule and physical toll of wrestling took their toll on him, leading to struggles with addiction to drugs and alcohol. Erratic behavior and no-shows became the norm for him, and despite WWE's offer of support and rehab, Jeff refused to address his issues, which ultimately led to his first release in 2003. It didn't take long for a star like Hardy to find work, and he wrestled for a few badly received matches in ROH before eventually signing with TNA. He came close to tasting championship gold a few times, but never quite made it. And soon enough, TNA found out that Hardy's troubles that plagued him in WWE were far from over. The no-shows started happening more often. Hardy's behavior grew increasingly problematic, and eventually, he parted ways with their promotion as well. In 2006, promos started airing on Monday Night Raw, hinting at Jeff's return. Hardy finally made his comeback to WWE on the August 21st episode of Raw. Upon his return, Hardy confronted the WWE champion at the time, Edge, and actually ended up defeating the Rated R superstar by DQ in his first match back. In the following weeks, Jeff had his eyes set on the Intercontinental Championship. He won the belt twice and joined forces with his brother Matt to reform the Hardy Boyz. This, however, was short-lived. In 2008, during a March 3rd episode of Raw, Jeff dropped the Intercontinental Championship to Chris Jericho. And while it looked like a regular loss, the story behind the scenes was quite different. The actual reason behind Hardy's loss was a 60-day suspension he received for violating the WWE's substance abuse and drug testing policy. When Jeff Hardy made his comeback, WWE once again put their faith in him and started featuring him in prominent roles. At that year's Survivor Series, Jeff and Triple H were the sole survivors against Team Umaga, which ignited a rivalry between the two. Jeff's impressive performance in that match led to him pinning Triple H and earning the #1 contender spot for the WWE title. He had a chance to win the WWE title at the Royal Rumble, but unfortunately, he didn't come out victorious. However, it was clear that WWE saw him as a major player in the company. Jeff was on the verge of entering and winning the Money in the Bank match at WrestleMania, but then he faced another setback. Due to a violation of the welfare policy, Jeff was handed a 60-day suspension, exactly 1 year after his previous violation. This suspension caused him to miss WrestleMania, and CM Punk ended up winning the Money in the Bank match instead. It was a tough blow for Jeff, and it seemed like he was his own worst enemy. One would expect that with his repeated violations and failures, WWE would lose faith in him and his on-screen character would suffer. But surprisingly, it was the opposite. When Jeff returned to the WWE, they continued to put him in the title picture and he resumed his rivalry with Triple H. He showed more aggression and even earned WWE title matches in 4 of the last 5 pay-per-views of 2008. In September of that year, Jeff encountered an incident at a Nashville airport where he was denied boarding due to his intoxication. Despite this, he managed to catch a later flight without causing a scene. Later in 2008, he was scheduled for a triple threat match for the WWE Championship, but was found unconscious in his hotel room, resulting in his removal from the match. These incidents were used in the WWE storyline to incorporate Jeff's real-life struggles. While not in great taste, they also highlighted the risks and tragedies associated with substance abuse in the wrestling industry. Despite the challenges, Jeff reached the pinnacle of his career by capturing the WWE Championship at Armageddon 2008. Holding the championship symbolized a turning point and a new path forward. He became one of the biggest stars in WWE, even outselling John Cena in merchandise. After a brief reign as WWE Champion, Jeff was involved in a feud with the World Heavyweight Champion Edge. He defeated Edge in a ladder match at Extreme Rules to win the world title. However, his reign was short-lived as CM Punk cashed in his Money in the Bank contract and defeated Jeff for the title. This feud focused on the contrast between Punk's straight-edge character and Jeff's struggles with drugs and alcohol. Punk openly criticized Jeff's reliance on substances and questioned the support of fans. Their rivalry culminated in a loser leaves WWE steel cage match, with Punk emerging as the victor and forcing Jeff to leave the company. Unlike typical wrestling storylines, Jeff actually left WWE by his own choice. His physical exhaustion and the toll his high-risk style took on his body played a significant role in his decision. After Jeff Hardy left the WWE, he faced a series of challenges. He had 2 herniated discs in his lower back and neck problems, which caused him a lot of pain. Things took a turn for the worse in September 2009. Hardy got into serious legal trouble. He was arrested on multiple drug charges, including possession and trafficking of prescription pills, cocaine, and anabolic steroids. His house was raided, and a significant amount of drugs were seized. Jeff ended up pleading guilty and serving a brief jail sentence of around 10 days. In 2010, Jeff made a return to TNA, where he was pushed as one of their top stars and even won the TNA World Championship. However, his personal issues continued to haunt him. CM Punk, who was in WWE at the time, took a shot at Jeff's arrest on television, and a video surfaced of Jeff rambling about making CM Punk a star. It was a dramatic period in Jeff's career, and the lowest point came in December 2010 at the Victory Road event. Jeff was scheduled to face Sting, but he appeared visibly under the influence. He was lethargic, confused, and clearly unfit to perform. The match had to be called off after just 88 seconds. TNA issued an apology, and Jeff voluntarily entered rehab for 120 days. After some time away, Jeff made a comeback and tried to regain everyone's trust. He focused on his sobriety, pursued his music, and even revived his Will-o'-the-Wisp persona. It seemed like he was finally getting his life back on track. In 2017, he returned to the WWE with his brother Matt Hardy, and they won the tag team titles at WrestleMania 33, which was a significant achievement. However, the struggles persisted. In 2018, Jeff faced another setback with a DWI charge, resulting in a suspended prison sentence and fine. And in 2019, he had incidents of public intoxication and yet another DWI charge. Despite these struggles, WWE continued to utilize him, and Jeff openly admitted his issues and sought help. Unfortunately, the problems persisted, and in December 2021, Jeff Hardy disappeared during a live event and was subsequently sent home by WWE. The company offered him rehab, but he declined, leading to his release. He then signed with All Elite Wrestling, only to be suspended from there too for driving under the influence. Jeff made his return to AEW on the April 12, 2023 episode of Dynamite. He claims to be doing well. Let's hope history doesn't repeat itself this time.